Hey guys, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to some Heroes of the Storm gameplay. Today we're going to be looking at Illidan. We're going to be playing on Blackheart's Bay, so this should be a pretty cool game. Also, it's going to be the hunt game. That'll be the heroic I choose in this game, which is definitely going to be a bit different from what the other gameplay I've got up on the channel. I think the recent videos of Illidan have always been with Metamorphosis, so this will be a look at, and again, those were a couple of months ago, so this will be a look at him talking about his current place in the meta and how useful the hunt is and stuff like that, plus how to play him on this map. Before we get into that though, the tips and the strategies, I do want to mention a couple of things. So I will be away this weekend, so again, people are probably used to me replying to comments pretty quickly, so it'll take a few days though to reply to these comments. I have videos recorded though for every day, so there will be a video up every day this weekend. Looking at some pretty good heroes that I haven't covered in a little while, such as Zagara, Illidan, Thrall, I think maybe Leoric as well. I'm not exactly sure either which order this stuff's going to come out in. We just barely pick up a kill on that Lily there. That was pretty good. Nice start to this game. Now Zagara is getting a nice push down bottom because she is on her own, but that's okay. I'm just going to go start clearing out this lane. Let's talk a bit about Illidan. So let's talk about level 1 talent first, since we've got that already. I picked up Immolation. This has been my go-to, and it's pretty much always the one I always take now, ever since he was reworked. And even before he was reworked, I like this. I think it's on level 4 then or something, it doesn't matter. But it's really nice level 1 talent. As you can see, it's helping me take out this chest pretty quickly. It just adds some nice, consistent AoE damage, helps with wave clear, helps with doing mercenaries, helps in team fights. It's just great. His other talents on level 1 are okay, but they're not as consistent. Sometimes they don't work, whereas Immolation is always good. You can rely upon it. And that's what I personally like when I'm picking a talent here. It's also going to help us, by the way, clear out Zagara creep tumors, because that AoE damage will reveal them. As you can see, Zagara here, a little bit out of position, so we're going to start focusing her down. You can see one of the things I try to do with Illidan is I do try to move around a bit as well. Even with my basic attacks, I do try to stutter step. It's quite important actually that you do so, because Illidan is very reliant on his basic attacks. Perhaps some people will play Illidan and they'll use the mobility from his Q and his W as something of a crutch, and they'll never like move in between his basic attacks. If you do that, you know, it's a crutch. You'll do okay, but you'll never be the best at Illidan, let's put it that way. I'm just going to start throwing down against this Greymane. Again, I've got a minion to flip over onto, so I'm never too worried. That's something you're always going to want to watch out for when you're playing as Illidan, is do you have minions that you can retreat from? You can see here as well, 2 minutes are hit on the clock, which is when the Merc camps on Blackheart's Bay spawn. So I just ping that I'm going for those Merc camps, tap the well on the way, because I'm not expecting to be kind of fighting heroes or needing a well anytime soon. So I'm going to do a bit of a Merc run here. Just sweep through all the Merc camps on our side of the map, get us some coins, and get us some nice map pressure, which will allow us to then turn in and use that to our advantage. You can see against the Merc camps, I use W on cooldown, use my E on cooldown as well. One thing I do against, if you want to be most efficient against the siege camp, is, you know, you dash through them, make it the shortest range dash you can by dashing into the wall, then you slowly like move back to the front of them between moving between those basic attacks. If you look at the map right here, just take a quick look at the mini-map, you see that? Okay, it's going to be important because Karazim is going to tell me what to do, and he's going to be wrong in a second. But as you saw right there, Karazim was hearthing back. We had two heroes pushing in against Tastar. Karazim was hearthing back on the bottom lane. Jaina was up top, but no one was there. So Karazim is now telling me to go and pay. Hopefully you were looking at the minimap there and you can kind of clearly see that that's a really bad call. At least when we had the option there, I cleared out that bottom coin camp. It's like, okay, am I safe to go and turn in right now? I had 9 coins. Really don't want to lose them. As you saw, we were pushed in bottom lane. Karazim was hearthing back. We had a hero in both the top and mid lane. A lot of the enemy heroes were missing. It was really unsafe to attempt to turn in right there. The enemy team could have been waiting, or they could have collapsed on me, and I would have had no support from my team. However, if you look now, there's 3 heroes in that top lane. We've got 2 heroes in control of the bottom. Now it's really safe, and I get to go up and turn in completely safely. So that's very important. People are really bad at this map, honestly. And people, it's funny actually, because that last Chromie game I had as well, we had people raging at me, being like, turn in, you suck. And then they let me die, turned in, and it destroyed like the front wall of the bottom keep, but didn't actually destroy the keep. And I was like, we're actually worse off now because you let me die, and we just lose all the map pressure because I was dead. It was late game. I was like dead for 60 seconds. It's like, all right, we would have been better off not turning in and actually just getting the map pressure. But oh well, people can be pretty bad at this game. On this map in particular, it's quite complicated as to, you know, turning in and creating the map pressure and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to do stuff to Lily, but she does have a blind, so I'm not really gonna get much done. At least not initially here. Jaina's going in though, and Jaina gets some nice damage down Lily. Now we've got the Bruiser camp, which is coming in, and it's going to soak up a lot of the shots from that from the keep right there. So I'm going to do what damage I can. Potentially could have gone on the Lily and killed her. I do go back over the wall. I thought I was going to be safe, but Lunara is here. Oh dear. Just going to go as aggressive as I can. Remember that L7 talent I picked up? Actually, I didn't mention it. As we get the kill. Awesome. I think I'm going to die from the poison though. Again, it's one of those weird things where Lunara poison does not display properly. So I looked like I had health right there, but I didn't. It's one of those annoying things. I don't know what they did. I think they changed it recently. But anyway, I was just highlighting here, there's 7 coins. This chest only has 5, so I was kind of pinging it going, Jaina, you need to pick up the coins. Don't go for the chest. The chest might go horribly wrong. You can safely secure 7 coins for us here. And again, we've got bruisers pushing in that top lane, so it's quite possible that the enemy team would secure them if you don't. That would be like worst case scenario is she goes to the chest, loses the chest fight, and then they just run up and they grab the coins, and then they come out with 12 coins. This way we come out with 7, they come out with 5, and that's okay. In fact, our teammates actually made it up to that top chest and got some of them, so that's pretty good as well. Keeping an eye here on my teammates like they're at this camp. Let me mention those talents, because we didn't go over them. Level 4, I picked up Friend or Foe. It increases the range of dive and lets you dive to allies. Pretty useful. Gonna go for the hunt in this game. Instantly gonna hunt in on this Lunara. I see that her teammates are down bottom lane. They're not gonna get there on time before she's dead, and there we go. She is dead. Awesome. Pretty nice. I'm gonna be very aggressive with my use of the hunt this game, and that's something you really want to do with the hunt, by the way, is to use it quite often, let's put it that way, because it comes off cooldown very quickly. Again, every basic attack you land reduces your cooldowns by a second. It's got a short cooldown as it is. As you can see, it's already down to a 20-second cooldown. We've only just used it, so it's really fantastic. I am taking shots from this fort. I think Tastar shield Karazine by accident. I think he was trying to shield me. At this point, I probably should have gotten out of there. I was kind of thinking Tastar would come back and shield me. He decides not to, though. Our teammates do take out the fort, though, so that's okay. The Tastar, I have to say, in this game, he's a little bit slow at throwing down some of those shields. I have to be careful. I've got the hunt here. I'm just going to go Hearthstone, then hunt back in. Tastar's out of mana, so we don't want to stay here too long. I think our teammates will be okay. Karazine wants help. Potentially, I could have gone in immediately. Jaina's freaking out with the Siege Giants. They're going to die in a second anyway. Yeah, there we go. Teammates do finish them off. Not really a problem. And our team have escaped safely. At this point, I was thinking that everyone was here. I was going to go aggressive. Unfortunately, Tastar, as you can see on the minimap, I was not expecting this. He's just going to run back to the healing well. So he did not come in after I hunted. I am going to get picked off, and I think Tren's going to die too. So that was pretty bad from me. Definitely a bad call. I was kind of expecting our teammates would stay. I was not looking at their mana right there. So definitely my fault. I think I say, yeah, I'm just saying like, my bad, guys. Sorry about that. Now, Tastar did make it back in time to pick up a few of the coins, but that was definitely a bad call on my part. You know, and on the one hand, it's like our teammates probably should have turned around and actually joined us, taking that fight. On the other hand, I shouldn't have taken the fight in the first place. So, you know, I really can't blame them too much for that at all. You know, if I'd pinged it as well, maybe we would have been better. Like, pings kind of indicated to my teams, I'm going back, but I'm going to hunt in, you know, just pinged on the hunt, said, hey, hunt's ready. Pinged on the way ping, look, I'm coming, I'm going to hunt in right now. I didn't do any of that, so really I can't, you know, it's not really fair to criticize my team for that. Just, oh well, it was a bit of a tough situation, definitely misjudged it, and could have played a little bit better. But oh well. I'm going to clear up this Merc camp. Again, Illidan just wrecks Merc camps. The little combo you're going to do, or the most efficient way to clear Merc camps will change depending on your level 16 talent, which I will show you when we get there. But for now, we don't need to worry about it too much. Just hoping the Tastar will destroy... There we go. Tastar destroys the Wisp. That's fine. And it's going to let me move in. It's stealthy. Stealthy. They have no idea I'm here. Well, they probably suspect. But again, we're expecting a fight around this area pretty soon. Everyone's got a lot of gems, or coins I should say. The enemy team is quite split and quite spread over the top there, so don't need to worry too much. Again, I've got the hunt, so I'm ready to go in and fight anyone. Pretty much at any opportunity here. I picked the wrong talent, misclick. So, yeah. I was like, wait, did I pick the wrong one? Yes, I did. Crap. I didn't even know what the talent I picked up did, so I was like, uh-oh, I have no idea. At this point, I was like, I'm going to leave Chen to die. He's got no coins. He's in a really bad spot. Yeah, I see Greymane's coming in. I just say, alright, see you, Chen. Luckily Zagara's out of position, so I'm just gonna, just hunt down there and pick off Zagara, so not too bad. And in the end, actually, Chen survives. I'm not sure if they just neglected the chase when they saw me jumping on Zagara. So perhaps, ironically, we did save him, or perhaps he just escaped using his barrel. I'm not sure, but happy days either way. That definitely worked out well for us. But yeah, it was at that point I just said, Chen, I'm leaving you to die, buddy. I'm taking these coins, and I'm just going to leave you to die. We'll survive without you. And yeah, it'll be fine. And it was just nice that there's a hunt opportunity there. So it did come out. It did work out kind of a win-win situation. But I was intending. Oh, this was quite funny too. And nice attempt by Diablo to interrupt us. Unfortunately, he missed both of us with his stomp. But, you know, the thought was there, so that's something. This is also interesting. So Karazim is saying, let's go do the Bruiser Camp. Obviously, they just saw all of us coming. So we really don't want to do the Bruiser Camp right now. I'm expecting them to show up. And yep, there they are. On cue, Diablo arrives. Hello, friend. Nice to see you. And he's got a Lily backing him up. In fact, the whole team is there. So yeah, I think that was pretty obvious. We were very much telegraphing that this was our intent. So we really need to be careful. There we go. Potentially I could have been using the hunt on the Lily right here to finish her off and interrupt her heroic. And we didn't need it in the end, so that's okay. But I could certainly have used the hunt maybe a bit more in that fight, just within the fight itself. In the end, we do pick off the whole enemy team pretty much. That worked out quite nicely to our advantage. Someone was trying to tell me that Illidan is bad against Zagara. I don't think that's true. I think he's quite nice against Zagara. He gets on top of her, does a lot of damage. She has a lot of trouble dealing with him. But yeah, like again, I picked up Illidan relatively early in this draft. I kind of felt like we had it kind of under control. They'd locked in... Oh, what did they lock in? They locked in anyway a couple of heroes, maybe other damage dealers early on, so they didn't really have an opportunity to counterpick with something like Sonya. They counterpicked with the Lily, obviously, and it's doing a decent enough job, but they'd locked in most of the damage dealers earlier on. They didn't have an opportunity to pick, you know, a Sonya or an Arthas or something like that. So that was quite nice, you know, that second warrior that really wrecks Illidan. It was pretty good. It's one of the things, actually, since I last did some videos on Illidan, again, I was trying to pick up these coins because Karazim has so many, but it's okay. I noticed that his Greymane was out of position. I actually noticed this a couple of times in the game that he was constantly going out of position, so every time I spot him out of position, pretty much, I'm just going to jump on him with the hunt and try to kill him. Same with anyone else that catch out of position. You can really punish people with the hunt, especially on a big map like this, or where people can kind of spread out. Jaina definitely picking a bad fight right here. Gonna jump over the Diablo at this point. This is kind of gnarly. I think Karazim made the right decision probably in getting away. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of damage. The Tassar shield not quite able to keep me alive. Perhaps he could have shielded me again, but I think it's fine. Again, Karazim was calling for retreat and they retreated away. I think it's fine. Again, better to save those coins than to go fight and lose them and potentially lose our lives and just give the enemy team a nice big lead. Kind of sucked. I thought this was hilarious that Jaina is like, yeah, good idea to move Ice Block to 20. Very good. I was like, dude, I don't think the lack of Ice Block was the problem there. I think you running into, what was it, 4 enemy team members is the problem. And obviously I followed in. I saw, oh shit, Jaina's fucked. I went in after him. Perhaps I should have just run away and just gone, Jaina is dead. I don't know. It's one of those tough decisions. When someone makes a really, really bad play like that, you know, your strategy becomes very difficult to decide on the fly. Sometimes you can turn it around and salvage the situation. Sometimes you go in, you die horribly, and you make a bad situation worse. I think, all things considered, I think that worked out fairly reasonably. Sure, I lost 2 coins and I died, but Karazim saved most of the coins. Karazim and Tastar made it out alive. The enemy team got a turn in, but with Jaina dead, they were going to get one anyway. We didn't really lose too much, all things considered. This Greymane, once again, overextending, really not taking account of the fact that there's an Illidan in the game with the hunt, so he's going to pay for it. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention my other talents. Let's go over those. So level 7, I picked up Reflexive Block. I think you saw me actually... I took some time considering it. It's always worth considering which talent to take in this particular game. Getting melted here. Unfortunately, Tasks are not quite able to land the shield. We were too clumped up, so I do get picked off and killed as this Chen. So that went kind of badly for us. I think both of our supports, they went double support and they kind of said, alright, we're both going to focus a bit on damage, which is unfortunate. Definitely not what you want to see with your support heroes. But yeah, they both went for a damage build. I felt like we had more than enough damage between us. We didn't need the supports to focus on damage, but that's okay. Kind of didn't pay off on that team fight. It was a very chaotic team fight though. Hard to see what was going on, and definitely I think the Zagara got a lot of value in that particular team fight, getting a lot of damage down, as did Diablo, and they tore through us in the end. So that was unfortunate. 3-4-1, so definitely not working out in our favor. But oh well. Oh well. We're still in the lead in terms of the map. We've got half of our front keep. Well, it's going to go now. But that's okay. It's still relatively even. We should hit level 20 first, and I felt confident that I've been able to get a lot of hunt kills off in this game. Here's another one right here, probably. Yeah, this Diablo's gone very deep, and there you go, he goes down. Awesome. Alright, I picked up a Reflexive Block as my level 7 talent. This grants you block whenever you use dive. This basically means that Greymane cannot beat me. It makes you very tanky against basic attack heroes. Basically heroes that are going to hit you hard with their basic attacks. You definitely want to pick up Reflexive Block. If they don't have heroes that are like that, or let's say they have someone like Tychus or Tracer who's just going to melt through those block stacks in just like a millisecond, you're not going to get any value out of them. There's also, I think it's Hunter's Onslaught. It makes your attacks, your basic abilities heal you for quite a lot actually, especially against heroes. And that's also a really nice alternative. So it's always worth playing as Illidan, stopping to consider, okay, is the enemy team vulnerable to this? Are they not? The Sagara is dead. Nice pickup by Chen, so I'm not even going to bother using my hunt on her. She was dead already. Going to save the hunt for anyone else who moves out of position, such as this Greymane. There we go. Again, I'm going to ping assist just to ensure that people are going to follow up. Like, okay guys, you need to follow me. Make sure to follow me. Nice little stealth though from him. Does ensure that he's going to make it out alive, so well played. That was nice, and good work by his team following in, ensuring he's going to escape. That was a nice shield by the Tastar as well onto the Jaina. And Lunara does fall there, going a little bit too aggressively, doing what damage we can here, and just beating on this fort. Yeah, so the talent that went wrong, I could have, at this point, again, we hit the double support. I felt like they could have protected me a little bit better. But that was really nice play by the enemy team, bursting me down. Took me by surprise. I was looking at my level 20 talents actually, and considering what to get, because I normally would just upgrade Metamorphosis, but because I'm not playing with it, I was like, shit, what do you take at level 20 when you got the hunt? I don't even know. So that was, you know, I think my supports could have done a bit better. I think I should have been paying more attention, and I could have potentially dived out and saved myself onto an allied hero. That was just, it's a bit gnarly there, that little fight. But our teammates are doing a good job. In my absence, actually picking up a double kill, so well played by them. Very nice. Awesome. I think Jaina's going to go back. Yeah, Jaina's going to go back and deal with this big wave that we have up top as well. Pushing in, going to get some damage done. Awesome. Yeah, the hunt is good compared to Metamorphosis. I think Metamorphosis is overall better. I like the hunt on big maps. So like on Blackheart's Bay, it's awesome. On Dragonshire, it can be really strong as well. Basically anywhere that, you know, people tend to overextend or push forwards on their own. Again, you've seen it several times in this game. Hey, here's another hunt. Awesome. Someone just feeling like they're safe, feeling like teammates are, you know, that they can afford to split push or do a split objective, and you can kind of cash them out on your own. Illidan is so strong one-on-one. He wrecks a lot of the heroes in the game, so really using that to my advantage. I do like the hunt. I think, you know, your team fight's a lot stronger with Metamorphosis, and it gives you some safety that the hunt doesn't bring, but the hunt definitely has a place, and it's pretty strong. And like that cooldown is super short. So yeah, if you want to pick the hunt, just say, okay, is it a map where people are going to be somewhat split up, or they're going to be somewhat isolated on the lanes? If yes, the hunt is a good option. If it's mostly going to be larger team fights, then you probably want Metamorphosis so you can actually survive them and get value inside of them. Level 13... So I meant to pick Nimble Defender or something like that. Basically when you hit a hero with your W, with your sweeping strikes, it gives you resistance, which is really nice. Really helps keep you alive. Unfortunately, I clicked the wrong one. I clicked one that when I hit them with my W reduces the cooldown of my evasion, which is actually okay in this particular game. It's not the worst. It's gonna be nice against the Greymane and the Lunara. Not as good, I don't think, as Nimble Defender would have been, but it will do the job. And that's fine. This is probably going to be game right here, by the way. 2 enemies dead. Yeah, that's okay. Level 16 I picked up Marked for Death, I think it's called. So when you dive on someone, if you dive on them again in 10 seconds, just a nice chunk of damage. Basically the equivalent of about 2 basic attacks. You're going to see Illidan on the core. He gets a lot of value right here and do a lot of damage. This Greymane is going to die. I'm just going to hunt him down. Here he is. Again, there's the thing. You see the big critical damage number comes up whenever we get it. Gonna hunt on the Lily. Again, doing something I should have done probably earlier in the game, and that's okay. I figured the this talent would be pretty valuable because they've got several squishy targets that are really going to hurt from that dive, and it's also going to let me get damage down even if blinded by Lily. That dive is still going to secure some damage, so pretty nice. Then level 20, I think I went for Nexus Blade. It's just a bit more damage and a slow, just help me finish people off, and it's fine. Again, if you want to watch back that core takedown, by the way, one of the things I was trying to do was use my evasion. There was a bottom keep still active that could shoot me, so I just try to use evasion to dodge those shots, which would reduce my attack speed. It didn't really matter because we were going to win, but something that's worth noting anyway. Illidan really wrecks cores. He basically negates nearly all the damage they do because of evasion and then his basic healing. And because he's flipping all over those cores. Again, you'll have seen that in my Diablo game that I had up a day or two ago. He can be very effective on the cores. Here are the talents: Flexive Block, the Hunt, Elusive Strike. Yeah, this is a mistake. You want the nimble thingy, but it's fine. Level 16, you can also mix it up with other things. I was thinking about the one that Fiery Brand, which is like Giant Killer essentially against the Diablo, but the rest of them were so squishy, and with the blinds, I decided, hey, this Mark for Death would be good. Against merc camps, by the way, or bosses or anything like that, you want to use you start when you're using your dive if you do pick up that dive talent at level 16, because then you start doing extra damage. Apart from that though, you don't normally want to use your dive on mercs because it does less damage. It's a DPS loss, but with that talent it's pretty good. We died quite a lot in that game, but we did quite a significant amount of damage. Illidan isn't always the highest on damage, so yeah, pretty happy with how that one went overall. And yeah, I thought it was kind of fun to show you a game with the Hunt. It's pretty effective. And yeah, I mean, he really does excel with Tastar. I love the Tastar Illidan pairing. It's my personal favorite pairing for him. Really enables him. And he works well, obviously, with Abathur and everything like that. You know, one of the problems with Illidan is that a lot of the heroes that do well against him have really gone up in the meta, and they're very powerful. Same with Blackheart's Bay. This particular map, he's very good at Blackheart's Bay because he can really do those merc camps well, and you can go into the Hunt, which is very powerful, or Metamorphosis if you desire, and he's really nice in this. But the problem is, if you pick Illidan, they can pick Sonya, who does a similar thing with the merc camps and also wrecks Illidan in team fights. It makes it hard. Also, heroes like I suppose Brightwing is very good on this map, and she's very strong against Illidan. Diablo, I suppose, is okay. Arthas can be good. There's a lot of heroes on this map that are strong that kind of wreck Illidan. So you do need to watch out for that. And yeah, he's kind of gone down the meta a little bit, let's say it that way, because, you know, Brightwing is kind of in ascendance at the moment. And several other heroes that really give Illidan a hard time. They're all quite popular right now, which definitely is a drawback to him. And also people are quite aware of how to counterpick Illidan too. It's one of the things I've discovered playing Hero League is that people are much more willing and much happier counterpicking Illidan than they are supporting Illidan. I've had a couple of teams kind of rage because someone picks Illidan. They're like, oh, you picked Illidan and we go support you. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what happens in a Hero League draft, right? Is you play to win. So you play to, you know, you make the strongest team comp you possibly can for the map and for what the enemy team is doing. And if that is an Illidan comp, then hey, awesome. But some people don't like doing that for whatever reason. They get cranky. Whereas people love counterpicking Illidan. And the second you pick Illidan, the counterpicks come hard and fast. So you typically want to pick him a bit later in the draft, when they're not able to get too many. Or, you know, yeah, just let your teammates know you're considering the Illidan earlier on and that you'll go for him. And always be aware that you might not be able to play him. He's definitely a niche hero. I think at the start of season 1 of the ranked season, he was like first pick and you could probably get away with it. That's definitely fallen off though as time has gone on. He's not in that position anymore. He's still very strong if you get the right team comp, but if you don't, you have a tough time. Anyway, that's a lot of info, big info dump about Illidan. Give it a like if you did find it useful and if you enjoyed seeing a bit of Hunt gameplay. And yeah, I will see you guys all next time for more Here's the Storm. See you all then. Bye bye.